to GSL.
Welcome back to the GSL Code S 2015 Season 1 Day 1 with Tasteless and Artosis.
We just saw Penguin get crushed by the great MC. And now we're going to be going on to our second best of 3 here with Rogue against FanTaSy.
That's right, and these guys are doing insanely well. They're already both top 16 in the ZvT Star League, which is the other 1v1 league that's going on in Korea right now.
Yep.
Now, guys, like, let me put this in perspective. Rogue recently, he is the reason why Zest is not in the ZvT Star League. He is the reason why Sue is not in the GSL. He has knocked these nerds out. He's also knocked out Sulky from the Star League.
It's
and
just unbelievable.
I mean,
this guy is so good.
He's a killer right now. He's slaughtering everybody. He's even killed Flash and Classic in Pro League. Like, Rogue is on fire once again. We were talking about how, back when Sulky was best in the world, we were talking about how Rogue was number 2, but he never really showed it. Like, he was super good. He did a couple of really great results. Never went all the way. He's there now. He's at the point where, like, this guy might take the GSL. We don't know.
It's certainly possible.
He's getting out of this group. That's for damn sure.
The Tosis has spoken.
Yeah. Now, of course, his opponent, Tasteless, this man here, FanTaSy. Did you like how I timed that out?
That was really good.
I'm like, this has been too long.
How
It's
do you do it? How do you do it?
I don't know. I just, you know what?
Do you put your pants on one leg at a time like a normal man?
I'm an Aries, which means I can, you know, I go with the flow of things.
I get it.
I'm a friendly
Look,
guy.
I'm a Leo. I'm a little bit vain. Okay.
Yeah.
That's it.
But FanTaSy's been doing really well recently as well. He's in the top 16 of the ZvT Star League.
Some of our younger viewers might not know the history with this guy, but all the way back into Brood War, Boxer mentored this guy, and he became his greatest protege.
Yeah, he was one of the best ever. He was top 6 of all time in StarCraft 1 for skill. Insane. He's just so good. And he's knocked out some badasses like, for instance, CJ Hero. He killed in the ZvT Star League, and like, I mean, he's really, really strong. I think his matchups probably go TVT then TVZ.
Yeah, TDP probably is worse.
Yeah, so I'm a little bit afraid. Like, if he wins here, I could see MC taking him out. Whereas I think Rogue would just like kill anybody basically.
Guess what, Artie? We're starting out at King Stage Junk Station. I think this is what this entire day is going to look like.
Pretty much, I think. It's a great map, but we actually do have Foxtrot as our 3rd map, which is funny because Foxtrot was like banned so much at the beginning, but nowadays it's like, oh, this map is not actually that.
Foxtrot
it can be bad,
was our outcast map when we started.
It was the black sheep, but you know what? Not anymore.
Black is the new red. All right, our match is starting now. It is Rogue against FanTaSy here for our second best of 3 in the GSL Code S. And the bottom right in the lime color.
Junior Green Wings low.
I would call that more of a yellow.
Kind of a...
Like maybe
kind
a
of
yellowish
like
green?
Kind of like a
greenish yellow.
Greenish yellow?
Yeah, it's not a yellowish
it's
green.
Maybe,
it's
okay,
more yellow
yellowish
than
green.
But it might just be straight up yellow. It could be.
I was thinking of like when you cut a lime up and what it looks like on the inside, kind of that color, you know?
Ooh, I have to disagree. I don't think it looks like that at all.
I think that's exactly what it looks like. In the upper
Dead
left.
Pixels FanTaSy.
I think you're a fool. What do you think of that?
Well, my feelings are hurt, but...
Well, you and MC both.
Our producer's saying it's gold. That's not gold.
That is...
All right, in other news, our producer's colorblind.
That's not gold. That's I'm gonna go with the yellow, maybe a greenish yellow.
Greenish yellow.
Indeed.
What we need to do is, you know, when you go to the store to buy paint, which, you know, of course we do all the time, Artosis, but you know, you get out those little samples, color samples. Then we're gonna find out that this is like, you know, taupe or something like that.
Those the little sample cards that you can buy.
This is like seashell blue. You're like, oh yeah, we can paint the bathroom seashell blue.
Then you go in and someone mixes it up in that paint mixer that just vibrates like crazy. Put my eggs in there to get some scrambled eggs. Is that overkill or toast? No. I like my eggs scrambled when they're scrambled.
Is that your favorite kind of egg?
No, I like
sunny side up.
No, I like when the yolks are a little bit gooey. Just a little bit, not liquidy. No, when you order at a hotel, they come liquidy. No,
You
I
want
like
gooey.
Gooey yolks. Those are the best.
Okay, guys.
Also, hard-boiled eggs are very good.
Guys, Christmas is only 11, 12 months away, so you know how Artosis likes his
If
egg
any of
yolks.
you get me eggs, I promise you I will throw them away. I do not trust I do not trust people who hear Tasteless joke in January and then get me eggs the next year. So
Yeah,
don't
man.
do it. Your eggs will be
eggs.
thrown away. Not in my house.
Get me
either.
eggs, I'll egg Artosis' house later. Then.
You're gonna egg my apartment building I live in?
Yeah.
Oh man. That's brutal. Like Young Edge, she's been chasing you with a rake.
I tried to TP your apartment building, Artosis, and get a T-shirt cannon or whatever.
It's like 15 floors. I don't think so, Tasteless.
Yeah.
So, looks like we are having a nice quick command center here by FanTaSy, whereas Rogue has gone ahead, grabbed his hatchery first, going into speed right away.
Yellowish green.
No, it would be greenish yellow. It's more yellow than green. That's how you do that.
Oh yeah, that's right. Greenish yellow. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Jeez.
I don't know how I feel about Zerg being that color.
I
I don't
like
think it
it.
looks good. Really?
You don't like that? You don't think that looks Zergy?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely yellow.
Terran red though, I dig. Link speed about halfway done, by the way.
Yep, nice to begin that so quickly. Starting to work on these rocks a little bit. Just kind of a fun thing to do with your lings. It's going to put that in FanTaSy's mind that you're already working on them.
The reactor's almost done. Zerg continuing to drone up. Starport started now.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see here. He does have double gas, so I'm guessing he's going to go into Banshee from here.
FanTaSy has not had the easiest time in StarCraft II, which is that mirrors with his Brood War history. He didn't have an easy time when it started. He was not a player who was on top. He was one of the guys that, at the very end, finished really strong.
Yeah.
And it's funny because we saw a lot of the early top Brood War players perform pretty well in the early days of StarCraft II. Some people, they come to RTSs, they get it, but then other guys who stick with it longer overcome that. It's kind of like talent versus hard work.
Yeah, I think FanTaSy overall, just as a player, is someone that probably won't jump into a game and dominate it right away because he did have such a different style in StarCraft 1. He was actually known as, his nickname in Korea was the Terrorist Terran because he was completely harassment based. All the other Terrans were basically just macro Terrans that would do great builds and play very solidly and macro up and basically do all the things that Artosis says that he likes. But FanTaSy was like just about harassment. Like he'd just kill your probes, your drones, your SCVs all game long. He's all over the place. Not the best macro in the world. Very strong micro, but really he was tactic based. And that's kind of like a rare thing to have at the top level. So he was like a very special, he was like a gem in the Terran crown kind of. So
A feather in the Terran's cap.
no.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Just
yeah.
a feather?
No, like one of those cool big ones, you know?
No. Leto is a feather in the Terran's cap.
A feather in the Terran's fedora.
Well, anyways, I mean, he's like a... It's interesting to see him get back and go deep all over the place right now because the guy's like pure skill from StarCraft 1 is one of the highest that's left out of everyone from StarCraft 1 that plays StarCraft 2 now. It's like, who else is left? Stork has become a coach. Bisu plays StarCraft 1. Flash is around, of course. Jaedong is around, of course. Zhongbi quit. So that's 3 of the top 6 are left in StarCraft 2. And this is one of them.
Terran now getting armor and attacks him about halfway done. The Banshee's going to come in here and try to do some harass. And there's the cloak. Pretty tough to really save any drone once it even takes one Banshee hit. The second one basically almost always connects.
Yeah.
We got more barracks coming down here now. And this is looking like a very textbook TVZ so far.
Yeah. There's nothing very weird here. You know, going from Hellions into Banshees, getting your third.
He's going to poke in here and try to one-shot a drone.
Yeah.
And so far effective.
Yeah, like maybe one missed shot there. Could have gotten one more drone, but still, I mean, he's getting done what he can while he gets his actual infrastructure up and going. whereas Rogue is just pushing his creep like a madman at the moment. Oh, I like this a lot. Wow, targeting on the queen with the most energy. That's really
Nicely
nice.
done. And actually getting that drone as well.
That was a good move. But it looks like Rogue already wants to grab his 4th. And with the creep spread he's got...
Looks like he's going to take the center right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
We've seen more and more Zergs going for this. And we saw a while back Protoss' switch over against Terran to that base on the side. The one way over on the left-hand side, or I guess in Terran's case, way over on that right-hand side, that's like kind of far away from everything. That's kind of really removed. Whereas if you have your army kind of central and you're natural, when you expand to these two as your 3rd and 4th, then you can kind of respond to anything, right? It's not too bad.
How much of that do you think is the meta versus actually the better expansion? Because I feel like it's so much more of a meta switch, really. Like people are going over here, so I might.
I feel like it's the natural course of the map for it to have switched over to that. Because the other one felt more natural because it's like next to your 3rd, kind of. But like, if you just look at how much easier it is to defend, I feel like this was always going to happen eventually.
So you think this was always the better expansion ultimately? And it's
yeah, I think it was. We just didn't know about it.
Damn, the banelings in this color look sick. They look like they are that mutagen from the Ninja Turtles.
That's a little bit more yellowish green though, whereas this is a more greenish yellow. So
I don't know, man. Look at that. They look like they're glowing.
Like, tastes
look like
something wrong with
fireflies.
everything you have to say. Well, he doesn't have Baneling speed yet, so those might not be too effective, unfortunately. Oh, nice micro here by Rogue, picking off a Hellbat.
All right, takes out this Overseer, and it looks like the push is going to happen in this expansion. Let's see if Rogue can hold on here. Rogue's done very well against the other players he's played so far. To be in the spot he's here. He's here in now. I think that was a bit of an overextension.
It started looking like it could have been nice. Didn't turn out as well as he had hoped, that's for sure. Some good walls going up for FanTaSy right now. But Rogue's macro still untouched as of right now. Even with what I would call, like, oftentimes a very late Baneling speed. But I guess it's okay considering how this game has gone so far.
All right, we have upgrades continuing to occur. The Banshee just coming down here and checking that extra expansion location. Looks like they might loop around here to that bottom center base.
I really like how you said that. Upgrades continuing to occur.
It's like he hasn't canceled his upgrades midway there.
Next time I'm going to say upgrades are continuing to accrue.
Well, you definitely can't say that.
You definitely can say that.
You
of
can't,
course you can say that.
No, you can't. That's
yeah,
not,
they're accruing upgrades.
I don't believe that's the correct.
You got to look at the word accrue.
I think I will.
You do that.
All right.
It definitely works.
We have actually Rogue's Army coming up here from the right side.
Oh,
I don't know.
nice.
I don't know if FanTaSy's going to make any ground here with these attacks.
Well, he's already so far back from the fourth base.
The creep spread is so good.
Like, I would expect that Rogue is going to be able to take this game just based on how far up his creep spread is right now. Because, like, the games that you see Terran win a lot of times, because it's always a battle, right, over the fourth base or most of the time.
You know, with that last attack there, losing those Banelings, he's got a superior army count. He might be able to push forward here.
Yeah, he's starting to push it back a bit more.
We've seen some questionable play here every time Rogue comes in with the Banelings.
Yeah, he's got kind of a funny number right now. They're both going to get 2-2 pretty quickly here. 2-2 a little bit quicker for FanTaSy, so that's really nice.
And it looks like he's going to back up again.
Yeah, actually,
getting close to maxing out, actually. Just one or two more rounds out of the barracks.
It seems like there's a little bit of an issue in the macro of Rogue right now. His larva is staying super low, and he has like 1,000 minerals in bank. So, but hold on, we actually have an engagement going here. The Speedbane's running in very quickly here. The Muta's all kept alive, which is very, very important. He does reduce the size of this army quite a bit, but doesn't have a whole lot left over.
And he's going to stim and continue to push forward here. And actually, this is going to be pretty tough. There's so many Marines. I don't know if the Mutas can do much of anything. Meanwhile, an attack down here at the bottom center. The Banelings are very close to finishing, however. And that means Rogue may be able to clean this up. More Banelings hatching now.
Oh, he actually runs back. Some nice micro here from FanTaSy. Really dodging these Banelings. Those Banelings really didn't do anything. In the same time, denying mining there from that third base. Looks like he gets the fourth. In the meantime, he is taking his own fourth, so suddenly Feeling pretty dumb for saying it looked like Rogue was going to be able to take it, but this entire time, he's been super low on units.
Exactly, and the larva count has been low as well. His minerals and gas have actually been pretty high.
Like, did he just miss a bunch of injects?
I guess he did.
Because
he has way too much money, and you can see he's just not even able to spend it.
Like, the attack that broke him, he had 700 minerals in the bank. Imagine if he had 700 more minerals in Circlings or something.
That's it, GG.
That could have definitely made a difference, I think. But FanTaSy takes that one very strongly. And the thing is, his harassment wasn't super great. It didn't do a whole lot. The creep spread was way the hell out there. The upgrades were pretty much on par for Rogue. But FanTaSy just went ahead and killed him. He had some great micros. So FanTaSy looking very, very strong.
Rogue has got to be disappointed with that last game. And Rogue is requesting for a short break. I think we give him about 5 minutes here, and then we'll be going to that next match. Look, if I'm Rogue, I'm going to be pretty salty with that game because a lot of that was his execution. He had this big army. His creep was pushed out very far, but he did not have enough larvae. He couldn't spend his money. He must have been missing injects or something because you can see FanTaSy just pushed in there. He had nice splitting. He managed to crush an expansion. And at the very end there, it was like 118 supply to, I think, 175 or something like that. So
it snowballed right into FanTaSy's favor there after a moment. So really strong play by FanTaSy, looking fantastic. But this is actually how the group can become quite funny, is if FanTaSy does end up killing off Rogue here, because I feel like Rogue is, if you look at his current results, he's like really favored to get out of this group.
He's scary, but
but I mean,
in that game specifically, that was FanTaSy playing very well, but like a huge error in Rogue's play. So.
Well, he's going to have to tighten up a little bit.
I'm not surprised he wanted to take a 5-minute break.
No, certainly not. I believe the next map is Overgrowth, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, because I think they got rid of Merry-Go-Round. That'd be funny if that was in. So, Overgrowth, I mean, this is as normal as you can get for a macro map. So I guess he just gets another try on a map like this.
It's not really surprising that we're seeing the players pick maps that they're going to be more comfortable on. Not Iron Fortress, for instance, our new map. We probably won't be seeing a lot of that until the latter part of this tournament.
Yeah, we used to, with new maps, that people were like, oh, I don't really want to play that because it's new. I'm not as experienced. In the old system, we occasionally just have that be a map that you had to play. Because like, oh, 5th match, you're playing on Iron Fortress. And that's not the case this time. There's like bans and stuff. So there's like actually a real possibility that we just don't see Iron Fortress this season until like way towards the end, like best of 5
have like
area.
8 players left or 4 players left, and you're going to think like, what the hell is this map? And it's because when you're in a situation like Code S, things are pretty unforgivable.
Yeah.
You make one mistake in a best of 3, and you can be out. Even if you played your best in that other game, and you just didn't quite pull it off.
Yeah, like something went wrong there for Rogue. Like he might just lose his series now.
When you have pro gamers like this that practice, sometimes 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
Why on earth would you want to play on a map that you don't feel 100% on?
Absolutely. Even if you feel like another map might be slightly favoring your opponent's race, you feel so much more comfortable on it.
Yeah. I mean, when all you're doing is practicing StarCraft all day, the issue is really just give me a map that I know so well, because this is currently all I know. I've played this map, 10,000 times.
Even if you feel like it's slightly favored for your opponent, you still played it so much and know how to win on it. So that's very different from a map that you like maybe knew about a couple weeks ago and isn't even on the ladder, so it's hard to even practice, especially for someone like FanTaSy who no longer is in a Kespa team.
Yeah. So map 2 is Merry-Go-Round. Let's see how Rogue does on this. Rogue, it seemed like nerves played a bit of a role in that game. This is not the guy who would have beaten players like Sue and many other good players, Zest too, to get this far. He would not be playing like he was in that last game if he was beating people like that. So presumably he can shake off whatever issues are going on and bring out his clean good play. Guys, tell your friends to tune in here. I'm Tasis. With me is Artosis. We are Tastosis.